Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits. Welcome to my 25th FlossTube. It is currently Friday the 10th of June and it is very hectic because I will explain in a bit, but I have a bunch of things to show you and a bunch of things to share with you, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna dive right in and explain why this might be a shorter floss tube. As I mentioned, I'm recording this on Friday the 10th of June. I normally try and do it on the weekends, but this weekend my youngest turns 6 tomorrow, so Saturday, and my oldest turns 8 on Sunday. So it's gonna be a really busy weekend. I'm going to, you'll be seeing this whenever you see it, but I'm still going to try and release this on Monday the 13th, but no guarantees, basically, because I not only have to record, but I have to edit, so we will see what happens. Anyway, I am going to dive right into works in progress. I don't have any finished pieces again this fortnight, but that's cool. I've got one piece that's pretty close to being done, so that's nice. But let's share some works in progress. We'll go with smallest first. So last floss tube I showed that I had gridded this and that was all I'd done. So this is the initials piece that I'm working on for a customer of mine. It's super simple, and I had to go to the craft store and actually get a color that I just cannot find anywhere, and I am certain I at least used to have it. So this green is going to be a dark green, similar to the light and dark gray, and then the light and dark khaki kind of brown color. There's the light green, and then there's going to be a dark green. So yeah, I couldn't find the color that I needed for it, so it kind of got paused. And otherwise this is pretty much done. This is all she wanted on it. I would normally want to add stuff, but this is all she wants. So it's basically a finished piece. I'm going to be trying to see how it looks in a 4-inch hoop, but I think this is going to end up being in this size, which is a 5-inch hoop. But there's the back, because people like seeing the back. But yeah, so that's that one. Moving on to the next piece, which is one that I sort of put aside for a little bit of time, but I need to get it done kind of soonish because it's already the 10th of June. It's this piece here. So this is a baby announcement piece for my daughter's original kindergarten teacher who left on maternity leave and had a baby, and I am going to be seeing her next week. So it had been so long since I made one of these designs and stitched it, so any excuse. But yeah, it's cute, and this one is going to likely end up in a 5-inch hoop as well. I initially designed it to fit in a 4-inch, but I then decided after I designed it that I want to add some embroidery flowers around the edge of it, which I have plans for, and I'm hoping that it will work. It's like kind of different from my usual embroidery flowers, but I'm excited to try something a little bit different, and I will have that to share next floss tube. So that's that one, and there's the back of that one. Moving right along, the next hoop, I'm just tightening all my hoops while I pick them up, so apologies. Next hoop is not a lot different from the last time I shared it. It's got this big bit of floss, so I'm just going to tuck that in. Is this Stitch People portrait. I've started the head, and that's kind of all that's changed. This is for the same customer as the initials piece that I just showed you. I don't know why I'm not working on this one. I don't know, brain malfunction or something. I should take this one with me tonight. I have to entertain myself for 2 hours on Friday evenings or Friday afternoons because my daughter has therapies So I'll probably take this and work on this. And I'll definitely be taking this one because that one has a more urgent deadline. But yeah, so that's that one. And there's the back. As you can see, I tucked in all the strand. So there. That one's coming along nicely. I think that's a 6-inch hoop. But whatever size it is, it's either a 6-inch or a 7-inch. But whatever size it is, I am planning on going in one smaller so that the mountains are kind of closer to the edge and it just sort of makes it feel a little bit more snug. But yeah, so that's coming along nicely. The next piece is one that I've been working on a fair bit this last fortnight, especially in the last week. It's my Satsuma Streets Pretty Little LA. So yeah, you can probably tell that this one has had a lot of work done to it. I am currently working on the green that you can see in here. So I started on the mountain. Well, no, I've done bits and pieces, but I was working on the mountain, and for some reason I was just like, I want to do a different bit. So I did this little tree, the start of the tree up here. So there's like a row here that's been half stitched that I will continue working on once I've finished the green in this tree, or this color green in the tree. But yeah, so that's fun. I'm still enjoying it. I am really liking it now that the mountains aren't just striped with one colors. It's feeling a lot less, what did I call it before? Skeletal. So that's cool. I still haven't written the blog post for the reason why I did the white already, but I will get around to it. I did take the photos, so that's what's important. So that is that piece. And again, if you're new or you don't remember, this is a piece for me. There's no rush on this. I've been working on this a lot because I am just so enjoying working on 18 count floss. I don't know why, I just am. Anyway, the last work in progress I have touched on this fortnight, and as I mentioned last FlossTube, I have many works in progress going on all the time, but I only like to share what I've worked on in the last 2 weeks. So this is the last one that I've touched on, and this one is a lot more fleshed out since the last FlossTube. This is Satsuma Street's Animal House Stitch Along. I was talking about this on my stream last night because I was working on this during the stream. I am planning on doing each part, because there's going to be 6 parts to this stitch along. I plan on doing 2 parts at one time. So this is part 1, this is part 2, and so far she's released part 3, part 4, and part 4 was just released last night, which is so cute. Oh my gosh. Part 4 has a sloth and a kangaroo with a joey in her pouch. So cute. So I was hoping to get this done by today, these 2 parts, but as you can see, I did not get there, but that's okay. This is a piece for me, like the Pretty Little LA. This is for me, this is not a rush. I just haven't done a cross stitch along before, and I don't know, I had it like in my head that it might be fun to keep up with it, but that's okay. I am looking forward to getting to the next level though, because there's a lot more animals. I don't know, I'm working on this bright pink here, so this wall, and I'm not really a fan, I'll be honest. I like the boldness of the whole design. It's just like, it's a lot of colors, and that's kind of fun to work on, but I don't know, I feel like some of the color choices could have been a little bit different, but that's okay. It's still fun to work on, and it's bright, and yeah, it's 18 count as well, so I'm enjoying that. My cat is currently scratching at the door because she wants to come in, even though she never comes in here unless the door's closed. She's a bit... So that is all of the things that I have worked on these past 2 weeks. I have also been working, sorry if you can hear meowing. I've been working on a couple of fonts as well, so hopefully that's exciting for some people. I do get messages every now and then sort of nicely like nudging that people want new fonts. So I have, I think 3 that I'm fleshing out. The reason I have that many in process is because I find it really easy to do the lowercase letters, so I do them first, and that kind of gives me the feel of the font. And then once I've done all the lowercase letters, then I obviously need to do uppercase letters, and I struggle with uppercase letters. I don't know what it is, I just find them really tricky to do. So I do need to really sit down and just work on those a bit. I've been busy. June is a very, very busy month for my family, which I will explain. But I also have a bunch of ideas for new patterns. I have an idea for a new free pattern that will be like kind of small and pretty silly, which should be a really quick stitch up for a test stitch. And that one really needs a test stitch before I can release it. So that one will likely be my next pattern release, which I apologize, I didn't release a pattern this past Monday. It was not gonna happen, so I just let it go, and we just skip a week, or skip a fortnight. But yeah, I have pattern ideas, I have fonts in the process. I have patterns in the process too. I am trying to brainstorm a cross stitch along. It's like this, but my own stitch along. So my own design, my own idea. And I am just I'm struggling because I keep telling myself it needs to be super original, and obviously it needs to be not infringing on anyone's designs or anything like that. And the ideas I'm coming up with just don't really work for a stitch along. They're more an elaborate pattern design. That's really frustrating, I'll be honest. But I'll keep thinking about it in my noodle. What else has been happening? Oh, I remembered, I wrote down a thing that I totally forgot to mention last FlossTube, and it's like super big. I was on the Stitch People podcast 2 Mondays ago. I don't even remember what day it was, but episode 20 of the Stitch People podcast, I was interviewed. The interview was done back in November, so it is pretty out of date. I do talk about the fact that I am stitching ornaments, for example, but I have refused to listen to it, I'll be honest. I've listened to a little bit of it because I wanted to try and find an interesting audio snippet to make a social media post out of, which probably was not the best snippet to use, but I didn't really want to listen to the whole hour of myself talking, because I already have to listen to myself talk when I edit these. But yeah, I was interviewed and it was fun, and it was awesome to just chat with Lizzie. She's like a ray of sunshine, pretty much. If you head over to my blog, I wrote a post about it. You can listen to it on that post as well. It's embedded on my website. So that's super cool. And if you do listen to it, let me know either in the comments below or the comments on my blog post what you thought, and if you got any questions or anything like that. But yeah, that was a busy Monday because I kind of didn't have warning that it was gonna get released that day, and I had all these plans to write the blog post and make an audio clip and all of that kind of stuff, and I kind of found out from a stitchy friend of mine that it had gone live, and I was like, ah! So my Monday was that Monday that it was released. I was just like frantically making graphics and writing the post and blah, blah, blah. So yeah. Oh, and I had a pattern release that day too, which I think got delayed by a day or something. But anyway, so that was exciting. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna quickly explain why June is crazy. If you don't know, my 2 kids are born in June. My oldest, I already mentioned this, didn't I? So my oldest is turning 8 on Sunday, my youngest is turning 6 on Saturday, which when you're watching this will have been this previous weekend. They're getting easier, but the last 6 years, birthdays have been really tricky because my oldest is special needs and she doesn't fully understand, well, she didn't fully understand why her younger sister would receive all these cool things and the day would be about her and blah, blah, blah. So she would just have a meltdown because she wants cool things. She wants to be the day about her, and etc. So she would be upset. And then the next day it would be her birthday and she would get all these new cool things and the day would be about her. And my youngest, who had just had that all happen to her the previous day, would see the things that her older sister was opening and get jealous, and she would feel hard done by because she just had all these cool things. Why can't it be for her again that day? And so she would have a meltdown. But yeah, so last year was a little bit easier. I'm hoping that it will continue just getting a little bit easier each year. But because both girls' birthdays fall on the weekend this year, I'm hoping that it'll be a fun weekend. It's supposed to rain like really bad, like really heavily all weekend through to early next week. So that's kind of sucks, but I had plans to take him to the playground and everything, but that doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. But I did go through all the things that we got them for their birthdays and family have gotten them for their birthdays, and they're gonna have a lot of things to do, so I'm not too worried. The other things that have been happening this past fortnight, I have mentioned in the last FlossTube that I started martial arts, and I'm still doing that, I'm happy to say. I managed to impress my instructors and I actually got my first stripe on my belt. So that means I'm like halfway to being prepared to get belt tested, which, if I remember correctly, the belt testing is going to be happening in July. So that's exciting. I have some color, because it's a black stripe, on my uniform. So yay! It'll be really cool when I have a colored belt. I'm not going to feel like such a noob. So fingers crossed I do okay. What else has been happening? I don't know what else has been happening. I have been so focused on the girls' birthdays because that's actually before the next FlossTube is going to happen. Next weekend, they're having a joint birthday party and I'm just feeling so overwhelmed about it. I'm not feeling as concerned or worried as I was 2 weeks ago, but it's getting closer and you know there's fewer days to get things prepared and organized, and it's a lot. And not as many kids have said that they can come as I'd hoped, but I'm counting on the fact that my girls will have a good time no matter how many friends are there. So fingers crossed. I honestly can't remember what else has been going on. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. If I think of anything, I will add it as a note to talk about in the next FlossTube, or I might add it in an edit or something like that. But regardless, thanks so much for watching. This is a shorter one, so I apologize, but as you can probably tell, it's been a really, really busy week, and especially today. And oh my gosh, wish me luck. When you see this, it will have all happened, so you can see how I did, basically. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment below and give it a thumbs up and all of that cool stuff. The algorithm is our master and overlord, and we have to appease the overlord. So I will see you all next time. Bye!